Hi guys, it's Nika, and today I am bringing you another create a sim video. Well, more of another makeover, but not the same as the makeovers I've been posting on Monday. This one will be kind of different. It will be a bit more chatty. It will probably be a little less rambly than usual, because I kind of want to go over these Sims storyline and stuff, and I wanted to make sense basically, and I figured a longer, chill, chatty, create a sim makeover video would be great for that. So usually in my create a sim videos, I try to cut out a lot of useless stuff, a lot of just going back and forth through the catalog, deciding what the Sims will wear. But this time I will leave a bit more of that rummaging, if that's how it's pronounced. I'm so sorry. I will leave it in and I will just talk, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Let me know if this format will be enjoyable for you. I will probably keep it only for when I'm giving makeovers to already existing Sims, or if those Sims have some storylines. If I'm just making random Sims, it will probably still be the shorter format, or it will be a short. I figured the short format, as in YouTube Shorts, it really works very well for my create a sim content. So let's get into this video and into these Sims. So I'm giving a makeover to December and Kieran. They were my founding couple of my Not So Berry legacy, the Breeze legacy. Well, December is the one who founded it. She's the very first Sim. Kieran is her husband, and since the 5th anniversary of my Not So Berry is coming up very soon on March 23rd. I've been thinking about them a lot, and I've been feeling really nostalgic about my Not So Berry, so I decided to revisit them and give them a little bit of a makeover, because I've been really enjoying that lately. December got a tiny makeover, because I feel like she's still a very cute Sim and I love her so much, and also I would have to recolor new hair for her if I wanted to go with a crazier makeover, and I was too lazy for that, so I just left her old hair and pretty much kept her as she is. But as for Kieran, I changed him a little more, because honestly 5 years ago I created Kieran pretty much in a rush. I created him very fast. I created him late at night after already playing the legacy all day, and he's cute, but I feel like you can tell that I made him in a rush, and I wanted to just start the legacy because I was kind of tired. Not tired, but I've played with just December alone for a long time, and I was tired of it, and I wanted the babies and everything. So yeah, I definitely rushed Kieran, so this time I'm giving him a bigger makeover. The biggest change, I think, is that I changed his frame to masculine. Kieran is trans. He's a trans man, and originally he had the feminine frame, but lately, I don't know, it's probably a mod, but lately I've been having some issues with the feminine frame when you have a male Sim on a feminine frame. Some of the clothes just don't work at all. I'm not sure which mod could be causing that. Well, maybe the LGBT mod, I'm not sure. But that was one of the reasons why I changed his frame, and another, it just works better if you have a male Sim on a masculine frame. When we got the gender update years ago, it was groundbreaking. Literally, it was so good. But I feel like at this point, they should have refreshed it and they should have made it a bit better, because we all know not all clothes look good on the other frame. On the frame they weren't originally intended to be for. I'm not sure what I just said, but hopefully it made sense. So yeah, I did that. He is still trans. The only thing I changed is just the frame, but he is still very much trans. And another thing I wanted to change about him, I wanted to change his clothing style. I wanted him to look more like December's husband, or like, because their styles are very different. But then I thought, you know what, no, I'm just gonna keep him as he is. I'm just gonna keep his style the same, because that's just him, that's just them. They have very different styles. They are kind of, in a way, opposites, but they work so well together. So no need to make Kieran a bit more classy or something. He doesn't need that. He's fine as he is, honestly. Oh, and another change. In my original Not So Berry, Kieran had green hair. It was dyed. It was just dyed, but he had green hair, and in this new version I gave him black hair. Well, I've been giving him black hair since last year, when I occasionally took him in December out and took pictures of them. I've been giving him black hair lately, but yeah, that's also another change. And you know, I will talk about this in tomorrow's video, but I kind of want to play with December and Kieran more, and I want them to have a bit different story from what they originally had in My Not So Berry. Because it was, as I've already said, it was kind of rushed. Like most Gen 1 storylines, I feel like we're all just excited to hop in and start making babies and stuff. So I'm now going to describe the storyline to you, the new one. So if you have read the old one, that's like a different universe. This is a different version of December and Kieran. So yeah, some things will be different from how I played them in My Not So Berry. Also, in this new version of playing with them, I'm not fully gonna be focusing on the Not So Berry goals. I mean, maybe December will again try to complete the Elements collection, and obviously she will be a scientist, but like, I've already done that with that like older version of her, and I won't be doing that again, basically. But then when Ross will be born, I will be doing those things with him again. I will do the not serial killer, oh my god, the romantic aspiration. I want to do it with him again. I don't know, I just, he's a mess, and he's done some fucked up stuff when he was young, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But this is not about him, this is about his parents. So let me just quickly go over the updated backstory for December and Kieran, mostly December, but obviously Kieran's gonna show up as well. So December was raised by her grandma. Her parents, December's parents, were scientists, and they actually, unfortunately, died in a lab accident. When December was very young, she barely remembers them. And her grandma, she tried to keep them alive in her memory, I guess. She told December a lot of stuff about her parents, a lot of stories of how smart they were, of how they wanted to make great discoveries, and just of how good of people they were. They were really good people. They weren't like the mad scientist, evil type of people, no. And December was obsessed with them. She loved hearing stories about them, and she wanted to be just like them. However, her grandma was never really supportive of this dream of hers, because she was afraid that if December picked up their research and if she tried to complete it, she would get hurt just as they got hurt. She would suffer, she would probably die of the research, or because of the research, because she could see that December had the same ambition as they had. So she was afraid she would end up just like them. But December stood her ground, and she still, just like, she went through with it. She followed her dreams. This kind of ruined the relationship between them, and they never really truly fixed it. But yeah, December went to study science in university, and that's where she first met Kieran. But they weren't really friends back then. They had some classes together, and she saw him at the library all the time, but she didn't really think much of him. He was funny and nice, and so like unbothered and chill, and very, very chill for a medicine student. Like, all of them were like kind of such nerds and stuff, and really focused on their studies. And somehow he just wasn't worried about it. He was just chill, basically. Yeah. But he wasn't really worth her attention. Basically, December tried to fit in with the upper class people, and she was friends with a lot of like snobs and stuff like that. So she didn't really talk to him, even though he wasn't like, I don't know how I would say it. It's not like she hated him. He just, yeah, she felt like he's not worth her attention. Eventually, December graduated and she got a job in a science facility near Oasis Springs, so she moved there. And she was actually quite lonely there because all her friends lived far away. They got jobs far away. They couldn't really hang out anymore. And one time she went out on a Friday night and guess who she met at the bar? She had no idea that Kieran actually came from Oasis Springs, and after he graduated as well and became a doctor, he went back to Oasis Springs. So they ran into each other at the bar. And, you know, she thought, well, my friends are all far away and they won't judge me for talking to him. Let's just be friends. I think it could work. And they really hit it off, I think. And once December didn't have to pretend he's not good enough for her, she actually fell for him so fast. One of the things she especially fell in love with about Kieran was that he was unapologetically himself. He was pretty much a complete opposite of her, because she always wanted to fit in with the cool rich people. She wanted to become one of them, and Kieran just couldn't care less about any of that. And with him, she finally allowed herself to be a bit more herself too, even though she kept a lot of the style and stuff she picked up from hanging out with her upper class friends. She still genuinely likes to look pretty and classy and more expensive than she actually is. But with Kieran, she became I would say a lot more laid back, I think. So eventually, quite quickly, her and Kieran started dating, and later they got a house together and they started planning a family eventually. And yeah, I would say that December's friends were very surprised when they saw who she married eventually. But at that point, she also couldn't care less about their opinion. Like, she fell in love with Kieran. Kieran is good for her, she is good for him, they are very happy together. It doesn't matter how rich he is or how much money he has. She just loves him, and yeah, he showed her that she can be happy without being, I don't know, without being upper class, I think. I don't know how to say this. But yeah, they got married and they started planning a family, and this is probably the biggest change from how things originally were. And I was inspired by when one of the features of Growing Together, I'm not sure if it's in Growing Together or in the update, I guess we'll find out. But in this new version of her story, December actually can't have children the natural way, but she's a scientist. And her husband is a doctor, and they very much believe in science and that science can fix all. And so they decided that they are just gonna have babies the scientific way. They are gonna make them the scientific way. And yeah, so first they had a son. We all know the one. It's the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. I know I'm so annoying when I call Rose that, but I don't care. And eventually, later on, a lot later on actually, they had a daughter, and the daughter is named Valentine? I'm so sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I feel like this is where I will be starting my Growing Together Let's Play / gameplay. I'm still not sure if it will be a Let's Play or if I will just post it on Twitter. But yeah, I'm going to probably start playing with Kieran in December when they get the house together. before they get married and before they decide to have a baby. And yeah, that is actually probably all I have to say in this video. There is still so much I want to talk about, but I don't want this video still to be too long, even though I said this will be more about chatting and less about the creator sim stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it, because I really like this format, so I hope you like it too, and let me know if you would like more stuff like this. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I've already said that. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have anything nice to say. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more stuff, and check out my other social media as well if you are interested in my characters, because that's pretty much the only thing I talk about. I'm obsessed with my characters. I love you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone! Also, oh my god, hi, it's me again. I totally forgot to mention one huge thing about December, and that is vampires are freaking obsessed with her. It's funny, because in the next generation, her son is obsessed with vampires, but in Gen 1, vampires are obsessed with December, and I'm totally keeping that in this version. They are always at her house. I don't know what they want from her, but they are always at her house. That is still very much canon. Vampires are obsessed with December, and December's son is obsessed with vampires in turn, and he in turn also marries one. And that one also actually bothered December. It's a mess. This whole family is a mess, and I'm so excited to be playing them again. And yeah, that's all I wanted to add. Love you. Bye, everyone.